We tested children at grade 4 and grade 5. And the grade 4 was an easier assessment. The grade 5 was part of the larger, more difficult assessment called PILS. The grade 4 was pre-PILS. And essentially what we did was we tested children during 2011. We tested about 19,000 children, of whom 3,600 were basically tested at grade 5 level. And we tested them from all over the country. So we tested urban children, rural children, and we essentially looked at how well can they comprehend various reading passages. So it would be reading for information, but also stories. And there'd be stories that would be appropriate for grade 4 and 5 children. And what we found is essentially that for instance, at the grade 5 level, we had tested them back in 2006. And we were looking in 2011 to see, is there any improvement in just 2 language groups? Those are kids who wrote in Afrikaans and kids who wrote in English. Was there any improvement in terms of how they read across those 6 years? And what we found is that across 6 years, there had been no significant improvement. However, what we did find are some signs of hope, and that is at the bottom end, we didn't have so many weak readers, and that was something that really gave us a bit of a boost. That has changed. One point for major concern, though, is that at the top end, what we find is that the top end is struggling and not so many children are achieving the top end in reading. Finding is confirmed yet again. We confirmed it in 2006. It's the case internationally, and in fact there are many countries internationally that are very worried about this in terms of boys at this age group who perform poorly in terms of their reading. We're worried at the grade 5 level because we have almost 50% of our boys who are at risk because they're not reading effectively. At 4 level, we were only comparing ourselves with 2 other countries, that's Botswana and Colombia, and we are on the same level as Botswana, but Colombia, we're 100 points behind, which is a lot. That represents 2.5 years of education. If we compare ourselves at the grade 5 level, then we're similar to some emerging economies. However, they participated with grade 4 participants. We had grade 5 participants. So I have to say that our results are still low, but they're in the region of those with Indonesia, Qatar, better than Oman, better than Morocco, but still, let's say, low compared to the developed world. Well, when we tested last year, of course, that was before the curriculum implementation took place. What it does is it probably confirms the need for a new curriculum implementation and overhaul. But what it certainly underlines is the great need of the schools to be supported, and in particular the pockets of excellence where the decline has occurred. We need to support them in addition to getting into the rural areas and trying our best to support them, both from the community side. The parents need to get more involved. They need to support the teachers in schools better. But also we need to get the people from the departments, we need to support them, and we need to enable them to support the schools better.